Welcome to Black and Gold Digital Edition, a behind-the-scenes look at your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hi, and welcome to Week 6 of our digital show. I'm Jay Pushko alongside Kent Urbanski and Mike Fenner. And guys, the Pittsburgh Steelers have lost 4 straight. And Kent, you and I were up in the game in Buffalo, and it was not pretty.
No.
Slow start, bad start for the Steelers defense, and all of a sudden they lose 38-3. How does this team try to rectify salvaging the season, getting back on track?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, and I don't think they do either. You know, I think you'd have to take it one game at a time and try to improve. Not necessarily. I don't think you want to go into the game thinking you're going to lose, but I think you have to go in and try to find some areas of improvement week to week in order to get to that winning edge that they used to have. And I hope that they can probably start that this weekend in Tampa against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it's going to be a tough challenge with Tom Brady. He just is such a good quarterback in that pocket that knows how to read defenses real quick and change, you know, an audible to what they're doing. It's going to be a tough task, but I think if they can right the ship at home this week, because they're on the road the next 2 weekends, it's going to be tough to do that on the road. So I think if they're going to do it, they need to get a win this weekend.
And Mike, you and Kent were down at practice on Wednesday. What kind of vibe are you guys sensing? Because at least in the post game, Kenny Pickett was pointing fingers, but he was pointing fingers to everybody, including himself. So it's not like it's a target to anybody, but do they feel like they can finally start turning the page a little bit, or is this going to be more of an uphill battle over the next few weeks?
Well, the good news is I think they've clearly turned the page on that Buffalo game, that you can't get it back. There's nothing you can do to fix that, so you have to concern yourself about this next matchup. But they're also trying to downplay kind of the magnitude of, consider the fact that Tom Brady has 6 more Super Bowls than Kenny Pickett has starts.
Right.
That might be the most jarring statistic or fact or figure you're going to see about this game, because you're talking about the most experienced, maybe the greatest of all time at the position, and a guy who's about to make his 2nd career start and first start at home. A parallel, to say the least.
Yeah,
right. But the thing I like about Kenny Pickett is he's not thinking really much about that. He's like, I got to get past this defensive line that's in front of me. I got to make sure I'm getting guys open and try to attack a really tough Buccaneer defense that maybe doesn't get as much talk or publicity as the Bradys and the guys on offense.
And Ken, I've been wondering the last couple of weeks, where's the running game at? I mean, Najee Harris has not been a big factor. Jalen Warren got a few carries. He did okay. But, you know, it's just not cutting the mustard right now with this offense. And if you're starting a rookie quarterback, you want to have some balance, you know, throughout.
Well, listen, when you go into a football game, one of the biggest things that the coaches say that they want to do is dominate the line of scrimmage and dominate the time of possession. They did that.
Yeah.
In Buffalo. The time of possession was in favor of the Steelers, but 3 points out of it? That's the issue right there.
The other problem, too, is Buffalo's scoring drives.
Big plays.
2 plays, 3 plays, so the
Right.
time of possession is skewed. But you're right. When you have the ball, you got to be able to put some points on the board and not just 3.
Red zone. You have 3 giant wide receivers that I don't know why they're not all on the field at the same time and spreading the defense out, and there's Kenny just putting the ball up in the air to one of them.
Yeah, take advantage of your mismatch, guys.
Absolutely. So, and 52 passes for Kenny Pickett in his debut as the starter, that ain't going to cut it, man. You can't be one-dimensional like that. You have to try to run the ball somewhat to loosen that up. But Buffalo doesn't have a great running game either. It just all came down to Josh Allen making big plays and being on target and taking advantage of a Steeler secondary that was banged up. Hopefully that kind of changes a little bit this weekend. Kenny Pickett is able to make some of those big plays.
Any concern from the fan base, too? Because, I mean, everyone's excited now that Kenny's getting the starts, but if the play calling isn't there or the execution, I mean, are you going to start hearing whispers get louder and louder about Matt Canada and the play calling? Because you and I even talked about it after the Buffalo game, where it's like, you know, 3rd and long and, you know, you're running the ball.
Well,
you
listen,
know, just
Buffalo,
the selections have been very interesting.
Buffalo makes a big play down the field, touchdown. How does the Steelers respond? Two running plays up the middle and a 5-yard pass. You know, come on, where's the sense of desperation? Where's the fight? Where's the urgency to get back in the game? That's what I noticed at Buffalo. So I want to see more aggressive play calling. You know, let this kid play. You know, he's a gamer. He doesn't want you to take, you know, to hold him back. Let him go. Let him make plays. And you know what? The wide receivers need to step up and catch those passes in key situations.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson getting the drops yet again.
Some key drops that didn't really help him out much. So hopefully this week, this Sunday, that those guys can hold on to the ball and keep that time of possession on the Steelers' side. Keep Tom Brady sitting on the bench.
Mike, how vital is it for this team to get off to a better start in the first quarter, maybe even the first half? Like just, you know, Ken alluded to, keep Brady off the field, try to chew up some clock, but be productive in those drives.
Yeah, they've got to do it. And you guys saw a couple weeks ago a much more inspired and enthusiastic crowd in that second half of the Jets game when they were moving the ball, scoring points, and seeing their rookie quarterback and hopeful franchise QB making plays. So if they can execute a little bit early, it'll get the crowd more engaged because they need to have that on their side to try and pump some noise in defensively when they're going up against the Bucs on offense and try to make it uncomfortable for Tom Brady and company. But then even going on the other side of the ball, Pittsburgh's got to be better in terms of pressuring the quarterback. They've got to find answers, and I know it's brutal without T.J. Watt in there. And I'm pretty sure I saw a stat the last couple weeks that I don't think they've won a game when he hasn't played. I think they're 0-8 now whenever Watt's not on the field, and that's just really tough to chew on. I mean, obviously that's how important he is, but they've got to find a way to get more pressure and just disguise some things and really disrupt them because, man, when they can't get off the field like that without pressuring and allowing those clean pockets, and for a guy like Tom Brady that throws the ball so quickly, gets it out of his hands, and Josh Allen last week, of course, it's just going to be a tough afternoon if they can't do that. But that secondary, like you said, really banged up. Yeah. Not sure we saw a 100% Minkah Fitzpatrick last week. You got Cam Sutton, Terrell Edmonds, so many guys that are dealing with stuff on that injury report. Kella Witherspoon, a lot of guys. Levi Wallace as well. I mean, these guys are not healthy on the back end. Right. It's going to be a big challenge against Mike Evans, a big-bodied guy. Chris Godwin, an extremely talented wide receiver. And a guy like Leonard Fournette out of the backfield who had 10 catches as a running back against the Falcons last week. So
and that's why the offense needs to do their job.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and keep that defense off the field, man. They're getting gassed, and too many 3-and-outs. So.
Yeah.
When you do that, I mean, I don't care who's quarterback, and you're just you can't keep running around like that and chasing people all over the field. Yeah. Like you said, Tom Brady gets rid of the ball so quick, it's hard to get pressure on. He doesn't get sacked a lot, because of that. So they're going to have to develop some sort of, a scheme to limit that, even though they can't get pressure on him. So how they do that? Look, you got two defensive coordinators there. You got. Who's the defense coordinator for the Steelers now? That was
Brian Flores.
And Flores was the head coach at Miami, so he's seen Brady. So they should be able to come up.
And his time in New England.
So he's seen him enough that he should be able to come up with something to be able to help slow him down a little bit.
Yeah, because we've seen over the last few weeks, especially in person, we've seen Mac Jones stand tall, not be pressured. Yeah. Zach Wilson stand tall, not get pressured. We saw what Josh Allen was able to do with this defense, and so they got to get some sort of pressure in the pocket to at least make Brady think, but boy, is he good.
Yeah, right.
He's going to be putting
at 45, still good.
Right. He can still sling it, and he still has the weapons to make sure that they can move up and down the field. All right, guys. Well, we'll see how it all unfolds at Acrisure Stadium on Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So for Kent Urbanski and Mike Fenner, I'm Jay Pushkar. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for watching. Join us again next week for Black and Gold Digital Edition.